Welcome students. Today is Monday, November 9th, and we'll be going over Unit 4, Lesson number 1. So this is starting a new unit for us. The name of this unit, Multiplication Place Value Array Model. Now, if you haven't already put in your quarter 2 inserts inside of your math binder, just make sure that you have replaced your quarter 1 inserts. That means the lessons that are actually in your binder, and the new lessons for quarter 2 were included with your supplies when you picked them up last. Your parents picked them up maybe a couple weeks ago. Okay, so that's what we're starting on now, is the quarter 2 material. In our next slide, our learning target: I can use place value array models to demonstrate multiplication of a 2-digit by 1-digit factor. Our essential question for this unit is changed from last unit. Why is it important to approach problems using a variety of strategies? So why is it important to approach problems using a variety of strategies? And for this particular unit, multiplication and division strategies, we will be going over a lot of different strategies for you to learn how to solve different multiplication and division problems, and just so you can be aware of them and practice them, and you're going to be able to determine which strategies work best for you and which ones make it easier for you to solve the problems. Our next slide: use the base 10 blocks to represent the problem 3 times 6. So you're going to use the base 10 blocks to represent the problem 3 times 6. And in our previous units, we have used the base 10 blocks. And right now, I'm going to get you to click right down here where it says click here for base 10 blocks. And it's going to come up on a new tab on your computer. It's going to be a new website, and it's going to take you to the base 10 blocks. I want you to try to model and represent 3 times 6. So I'll pause and give you an opportunity to do that. So when you bring up the base 10 blocks, it's going to come up just like we've been practicing with. And in order to clear all this out right here, the actual base 10 columns here, just go in and click on where it says show grid, and it'll be easier for us to work. If you just click that, it'll take all the grids off, okay? And now you can work with representing 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is what you're trying to show. Okay, so you've had an opportunity to try to show 3 times 6. And what you should be showing are 3 groups of 6. So you should be showing 3 groups of 6. And the picture on the right actually represents 3 groups with 6 in each group. So this is 3 groups of 6, the one on the right. Now, the one on the left, let's take a moment. I want you to see if you can figure out, what does this group represent? If this is 3 groups of 6, what does this represent? Okay, the diagram on the left represents 6 groups of 3. 6 groups of 3. So I've got one group right here. This is a group of 3. Another group of 3. This is my third group of 3. Fourth group, fifth group, and sixth group. So this is 6 groups of 3 over here, and this is 3 groups of 6. But if you notice that both of them have the same product, which is it's going to be 18. So that's actually 18 in each. Now, the cumulative property allows us to be able to say 3 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 3, because it gives us the same value. So the cumulative property allows us to do that. Just like our base 10 blocks, on our next slide right here, the arrays also allow us to represent 3 times 6 or 6 times 3. So here you've got 6 rows. 6 rows. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you got 3 columns. Okay, and over here on this one, you've got 3 rows and 6 columns. But again, you have the same value. For for both of those. So on our next slide, it says use the base 10 blocks to represent a different problem. So here we've got 3 times 24, 3 times 24, and I want to give you an opportunity to practice with the building 3 times 24 using the base 10 blocks. So go on and click right here, and again, it'll bring you up to the base 10 website on a different tab on your computer. I want you to represent much the same way we did with the previous ones. Just go in and practice and represent the 3 times 24. So using the base 10 blocks, you had an opportunity to practice representing 3 times 24. And right here, I've gone ahead and done that. 3 times 24. What I have represented here are 3 groups of 24. So I've got 10, another 10, that's 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 24 one group, 24 in a second group, 24 in a third group. So 3 groups of 24 is what I have here. And again, using the cumulative property, you could have commutative property, you could also have represented it as 24 groups of 3. So you could have done 24 groups of 3. You have the same value. So if you did this 24 times, you would have the same value as this. Okay? They would both be 24. Some questions that I want you to think about. Number 1, how did you use your arrangement of base 10 blocks to help you find the answer? 2, why did you decide to arrange your base 10 blocks that way? 3, how do you know this arrangement would help you find the answer to the multiplication problem? So just those are some questions I want you to be thinking about and jotting down some answers in your notebook. And the next time you're on your live session, if you still have those, if you have questions about any of those, just present those to your teacher, okay? On our next slide, the question is, do these images show the same value? And over here, this is what we actually showed on our previous problem, 3 groups of 24. So we have 3 groups of 24 right here. And over here, we have 10, 20. These are 3 groups of 20. And I have 3 groups of 4. Let's pause for a minute. I want you to take a look at them and, let's figure out, do they show the same value? If you answer yes to that question, you would be correct because they both have the same value. So we've got 20 plus another 20 is 40, and another 20 is 60, 4, 68, 72. You have the same value over here as you have over there. So by comparison, you can say that 3 times 24 is the same, has the same value of 3 groups of 20 and 3 groups of 4. They have the same value. Therefore, 3 times 24 is the same as 3 times 20 plus 3 times 4. Has the same value. So on our next slide, I've got some vocabulary that I would like for you to take down and write inside of your notebook, something you can be able to refer to as often as you need to. Factor, numbers, we can multiply together to get another number. And I've got an example here, 5 times 3 equals 15. 5 and the 3 are both factors in this number. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem, and that would be the 15 is the product. Okay, an array is what we've been kind of working with. Items are arranged in rows or columns. So we've been doing that already. Repeated addition, of course, when you continuously add up the same number, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so make sure to copy all these down in your notebook. Okay, so on our next slide, I'm just introducing some independent work for you. Multiplication model, place value practice. So this is actually the same as page number 1 in your math binder, but check with your teacher. They may assign the Google Jamboard. There's a Google Jamboard that also goes along with this. They're the same thing, and you're going to do those. You're going to do those independently. And the next few slides are actually the same as the Jamboard. So you actually got a choice. You doing it in your doing it in your binder on page 1, doing the Google Jamboard, or completing the next few slides, and these are all for page number 1. So you got right here, the directions: move the base 10 blocks to represent each problem. Remember to use the copy and paste functions once you have created your larger factor. Okay, so again, the next 2 slides are actually going to be problems from page number 1 in our binder. You can actually do them on the slides right here. And so this one and the next one are they're from page number 1 in your math binder. And if you need help on how, you just drop in and copying the 10s and the 1s right here. So this little help button right here will actually bring up a video. So this little help button will bring up a video, and with the video, once you click on it, it'll be a demonstration about how to do, and it'll do number 1 for you. Okay, so when you click on the help button, it'll bring up to a different tab, and it'll be a demonstration on how to do problem number 1 if you need help with it. Okay, and then you can just use the same strategy for the rest of them on this page. Okay, so your independent work is for you to complete. You're actually going to be doing page number 1 in your binder. Page number 1 in your binder. Remember, I've already said that number 1, there's 3 different ways you could do work the problems on page number 1. You could pick work them in your book, and you could also take a picture of your work, or you could work on the Jamboard activity that was assigned to you by your teacher, or you could work those problems on these slides right here, on the 2 slides that I gave you. Okay, so those are the ways that you can actually complete that work in order to show us that you understand it. Also, work on Dreambox, and as a reminder, make sure to complete at least 5 lessons by Friday. And an easy way to really keep up with it is to do 1 per day.